T! Best fucking name, by the way, let's be honest. Big T. Anything with a T in it. I love Mr. T. Remember Mr. T? Big T! It's your boy Russ Hanneman. You can call me Uncle Russ. You're Big T, I'm Uncle Russ. I like the monikers. You can also call me Senor Tres or Mr. Fest, Russ Fest. You can call me ROI, which means radio on internet, but in French it means the king. So fucking yes. But I digress. Big T, Uncle Russ is here to wish you congrats on the giblets. Listen, I know you're the guy at Run Pure Sports that fucks. Am I right? Am I right? You know I'm right. Come on, you know I'm right. This man hits the workbench and fucks. Listen, man, congrats again on winning all that money in DFS, Big T, and keep running pure. I like that. Fucking love that, actually. Big T, you're the man. You're the man who fucks. And one day you will drive a car with doors that open like this or like this, not like this. Yeah. Big T. All right, enjoy it, man. Hanneman out.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Run Pure Sports Hardwood show for some Thursday night NBA action. We got 9 games. We're almost there. A few more days. We're going to get to the playoffs or the play-ins, then the playoffs. Today's a tough one, man. It's definitely going to be a battle with a lot of teams without much to play for. We got your Nuggets already kind of resting some guys. I think that's the most interesting spot on the slate, trying to figure out what's going to happen with Jokic and the rest of their regulars. So we'll discuss that. But before we get into all the NBA talk, congratulations. You hit the MLB last night. And I want to take a little bit of credit because we were on the PGA show last night. Your boy stayed out of the sheets. Typically I go to bed at a decent time. I mean, I stay up a little bit. Like I stay up till usually around midnight. But I was up till about 1:30 last night with you guys and rooted in the winner with you. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was a fun night. We were on the golf stream. I never look at the standings as Hoop knows. So I didn't really know. I knew I had a good team, but I didn't know how it was. And I pulled it up on the stream and rooted in those last few outs while we were picking some golf winners. That was fun. But yeah, your main point though, the NBA, God, get us to Sunday's the last day. Next week we'll come back and have some playoff shows. Yeah. Much more enjoyable where we can just look and know the players that are going to play, make some decisions based on that, and not just have to wait. Is this guy going to play? Is he going to sit half the game? So many scenarios. It's hard work this last week. Joey Works giving Hoop credit too. Props to Hoop for hanging out. That was the momentum shift to the whole night when Hoop came on. No way we thought Hoop's mug was going to come on there. And there it was, just that pretty mug, rooting in winners, picking golf winners. It changed all the momentum of the night.
Yeah, I already had my contacts out. I had the eyeglasses on. It just it was a good night. We had Mangone pop on. He had like a full china cabinet like right over his shoulder with a bottle of like Lysol like on the table. K Phallic showed up in just like a plain white tee, and it appeared to be like boxers. Like he said, what do you got on underneath? And he stood up and he flapped them up. It looked like some loose boxers, didn't it?
I mean, I think it was. If not, the shorts, he had some nut huggers on because those things were up in there.
Yeah, and like we were talking about it, just the white tee. Like, did you just get off the bench or something? Because that's just like something that you're just throwing on. It was a fun night all around. We had a lot of fun. Paying the price a little bit. I didn't get a nap like Big T. Big T got his afternoon nap in to kind of recover. Your boy didn't get the afternoon nap, so I'm struggling. Yeah,
I'm hurting.
Yeah, I'm definitely struggling a little bit too. I guess the good thing, though, about the NBA slate is there's a lot of spots that we can just cross off. It's 9 games last week's NBA season. It's a beast, but there's a lot of spots that we can just go ahead and kind of cross off. So anything else before we go ahead and hop into it?
No, I mean, just like the rest of the week, we got to pay attention to who has some sort of motivation. There's only one late game today, which I think brings in some game theory where the two teams. So what's the deal with this? We got Phoenix more than likely going to get the 2 for sure, but they
Portland has a lot to play for.
Yeah, Portland is what, 1 game clear of the Lakers, winning a tiebreaker over Dallas.
I think Portland has the most to play for on the slate because they could potentially drop down to the play-in game, which they obviously want to fully avoid. They're in the 5 seed right now. They're only 1 game clear of the Lakers in the 7, so they're going to give it a full go. I mean, there's no doubt about that. The Suns, how many games are in the regular season? 72?
I don't know because I know they changed it, but I mean,
yeah,
every
they've changed it around. Someone in the chat let us know. I think it's 72. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. So I mean, these teams only have a couple more to go. The Suns, a game and a half behind the Jazz. They're pretty safe to avoid the 3. So I don't think they have a ton of incentive here. But yeah, the slate is filled with spots that for the most part we can avoid, and we'll talk about all of them. But yeah, before we do that, also we got a giveaway. Our boy Will D had a win. I believe it was this week. I can't remember. I think it was in NBA. It might have been yesterday, the day before, but he wants to give back. So he's going to give away a month of a premium membership here at Rum Pure Sports. So we're going to give that away at the end of the show today. We'll come up with some. Yeah, so they're saying 72 games. So there's only a few. Most of these teams only have 3 more games left. So that's good to know. All right, let's go ahead and hop into it. Before we do, hit the subscribe. Helps us to continue to bring you guys these shows on a daily basis. So subscribe, helps us out here. First game up, we have the Clippers Hornets, 220.5 total. Clippers favored by 8 in this game. And I mean, honestly, the Clippers, I don't think are a team that I want to target tonight. The one thing I will say, Kawhi Leonard, not a guy that we typically play, but he is pretty cheap. He's like 8.2, I believe, on FanDuel, 8.4 on DraftKings. If he plays 30 minutes, he could potentially get there. I mean, this is going to turn into a slate where you're looking at more raw points opposed to anything else, because you just want your guys to get in there with a decent number. I think scores overall will be a little bit lower today because of these studs and the uncertainty around some of these studs that we're going to talk about on the slate. So maybe a little moderate interest in Kawhi Leonard is just like a raw points floor type play. On the Hornets side, I really don't have a lot of interest in anyone. I mean, the price tags look pretty brutal to me. LaMelo's at 8.5, Terry Rozier 7.7, PJ Washington at 7.4. Maybe we get some news that some guys are out and then we can circle back. But as it stands now, it's not a good spot for the Hornets. So I'm going to be off them. Only guy I'm seeing really here is maybe Kawhi Leonard. And I know you probably will have no interest in him. So give me your thoughts here.
Yeah, you definitely know me beforehand. I wish Kawhi Leonard was always 8,200 so that people actually play him. I mean, he could easily get you like 40, which you need at 8,200. But man, I can't imagine him having upside in this spot. And on top of it, I know the other day I said this, and the Clippers went out and blew someone out, and the Nuggets went and blew someone out. But man, these teams should want to lose. If anyone has motivation to lose, it's the Clippers and Nuggets, because they do not want that 3 seed is going to have to play the Lakers when they get in. And it's a major, major disadvantage. So I know that these are smart teams. The Nuggets, they both have 3 games left. And I mean, it's a 1-game separation. So I think it's crazy to play the Clippers. We might even hear somehow they're sitting guys out or something tonight. If that happens, you can definitely play some of these younger Clippers guys and a guy like Boogie, only if we hear Kawhi or Paul George or some of these guys are out.
First game on the slate too, says there's a chance if there is going to be any guys resting, we will get the news. So that's good.
That's the nice part for sure, because when it's late, all of a sudden they sit and all this value. Because tons of these guys, I mean, even Pat Bev, you would think they'd want to get him a little momentum going into the playoffs. I could see playing him if those guys are out. But if they're in, the good thing is there's no way I'm playing anyone in this game if there's not people sitting out.
Yeah, and I agree with you. We would need some news, but as it stands now, I'm not going anywhere. I said maybe Kawhi, that'll be it. But without news, that's going to be it for me in this game. Next game, we have the Bucks. We have the Pacers. 242 total, big total. Bucks favored by 9 in this game, and the Pacers do have something to play for. They're currently in let's pull this up. They're currently in the 9 seed. They could get up to the 8 seed, which is obviously a much better spot. So they're going to want to win here. The Bucks are pretty locked in the three spot. Game and a half behind the Nets. They're way clear of the 4 seed. So the Bucks really don't have too much to play for. I think playing the Bucks on the slate, very, very dangerous. Pacers, though, like I said, they have something to play for. Sabonis is just on an absolute heater right now. 75, 74, 55, 74, 72, 60. Just playing as many minutes as he can handle, and the entire offense is running through him. As crazy as it sounds, he might be my favorite spend on the slate. Curious to get your thoughts on that take. It's 10-7. I mean, he's at the peak price tag that we've seen. We have the value to pay up. He might be the guy that I want to go to today. I think LeVert is also a guy you can look to. Expensive, but going to play, 40 minutes in a competitive game. So I don't mind LeVert. I don't mind Sabonis, but no one else is really doing anything for the Pacers, despite everyone else being out. Your boy Dougie McDermott actually finally had a good game after we made fun of him.
That's because he had another dude out. Aaron Holiday sat too, right?
Yeah.
They just freaking sat everyone.
Yeah. But he's 4 or 5. But I like Sabonis. I like LeVert. Talk to me about this game. You kind of agree with the Bucks side, and then the plays on the Pacers.
Yeah. So do we have confirmation if LeVert is playing for sure?
He's listed as questionable. I guess I didn't realize that him and Holiday are both listed as questionable. So if those guys sit, Pacers are going to be the most popular team on the slate.
Yeah, and you look at these bodies. I hate when these guys are super chalky because some of these guys are like my least favorite people to play. McDermott, Justin Holiday. The one guy, though, I do want to click him because Keelan Martin had a back-to-back good games. He still didn't get the minutes, though. I thought he played. The one night was 25 minutes, 36, but then he came back and only played 18. He's kind of sneaky, though, especially if some of these guys are out at 3,200. I don't mind him. O'Shea would be a great play, obviously, if guys are out. McConnell would be basically a lock if LeVert was out. But assuming LeVert is in, I bet LeVert plays. I think he should play, and they need to win, like Hoop said. I think he'll probably play, and you can definitely play him. Sabonis is turning into almost a Russell Westbrook DFS light, where he just keeps crushing. If the price feels high, the other night I kicked myself because I didn't play him again against Philly, and he just keeps crushing. He's got 4 games in the mid-70s in his last 8. And he just keeps crushing. So we always say to just take the easy way. Don't overcomplicate it. I'm just going to play him and take my chances. And he just keeps crushing. There's no reason not to play him. I could play LeVert too, because your initial point, I can't imagine these Milwaukee guys playing some crazy minutes. They don't care at all, right? What are they at? Locked into the 3?
Locked into 3. They're game and a half behind the Nets. But really, what's the difference between the 2 and the 3? They can't get. I don't think they can get up to the number 1 seed. I don't see much incentive here.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to be all over Sabonis. I hope LeVert plays so we can ignore a lot of those other guys. If he's out, you're gonna have no choice but to jam these guys. Sabonis especially, though, got to be on him.
The worst guy ever, like you said, your roster is Justin Holiday. If he's popular, he literally just sucks. He's the guy that it's like the 40 minutes guy that can go out there and get you like 8 fantasy points, which should be impossible to do in this day and age of the NBA. But he has that sort of floor, and it is super tilting because it seems like it happens all the time. So I definitely we'll be hoping to avoid him at all costs. Next game, we have the Magic. We have the Hawks, 221.5 total. Atlanta favored by 13 in this game. Got some guys questionable. Trae Young is going to play, but Bogdanovich, Capella, Gallinari all listed as questionable. Going to need the news. Let me see. They had ruled some guys out too, I believe. No, JT's boy, Tony Snell is not going to play, so that's some big news. On the Orlando side, Mo Bamba is questionable. I mean, this is also a spot I'm most likely going to be looking to avoid, assuming all these guys do play. Trae Young does have a cheap price tag on FanDuel. He is like mid eights, I think 8.5, 8.6. He'd be more in the conversation over there for me. But if all these guys are ruled out, we might have to circle back and take a look at these Hawks. The Hawks they actually have. Well, don't think they have a ton to play for. So they're either going to be the 4, 5, or 6 seed. They're a half a game ahead of Miami and New York. They're basically Miami and New York are tied, and then Atlanta's in the 4 seed right now. I don't think there's much of a difference, 4 through 6. So I don't think they have a ton to play for here. But like I said, if all those guys are out, we'd have to circle back. And then on the Orlando side, I don't know. Who the hell knows what you're going to get out of the Orlando Magic? The price tags are now up as well. You're not getting any cheap plays here. So as it stands now, Trae Young on FanDuel, and that's just about it for me. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think these guys play. It's just looking at the standings. Yeah, there's definitely no difference, obviously, 4 or 5. But, I mean, if you drop to 6, you're going to have to play Milwaukee, which is a decent amount. I wonder the tiebreaker situation because they're up 1 in the win column, but obviously they're tied in the loss column, 4, 5, 6. So, I don't know. Like, I think these guys will play, but if they sit and they do roll them out, that means they don't care about their seeding at all. And then I would look at some of the like maybe they use this game as a chance to build DeAndre Hunter up a little bit or stuff like that. I don't know. Until we get more news, I'm definitely not playing anyone in this game. I'm looking for someone that I would even consider.
Just got some massive news. Karis LeVert's out. So Justin Holiday, let's go.
Right when you said it, I knew it was going to happen too.
Yeah. You're gonna have you're gonna have to load up on Pacers like we just talked about.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard not to.
God. McConnell, Aaron Holiday, assuming he's in. They haven't said whether he's in or not, but McConnell's super strong play. Sabonis, yeah, I mean, the Pacers are going to be a very popular team tonight. Tough spot to avoid. And, I mean, just looking at this, they're in the 9 spot right now. I mean, you want to be in the 8 over the 9, right? Because the 7 and the 8 play first. So, I mean, they're tied basically for the 8 seed. Their guys are going to play a shit ton of minutes here. Very appealing spot now for the Pacers. Very appealing.
Well, I mean, it's huge too because Boston obviously has Jaylen Brown out, and I mean, if you get up to that 8, all you're going to have to beat probably is Boston, and that's a big advantage, I think. So
Boston's vulnerable,
super vulnerable, man. Everybody wants Boston right now for sure.
Yeah,
Big T, you have to play Doug McDermott now. Yeah, I mean when Aaron Holiday gets announced out too, I mean we're gonna definitely have to. I'll probably fade McDermott though as chalk again, but yeah,
he'll be popular. All right, keep it.
Empire sends out the tweet. Oliveira seems like an all-in bet. The MMA Saturday night. I like.
What's the odds on that one?
I don't know. I never look until. Let's see what it is real quick. Where's Titletown? Why's Title not on here?
Actually, that's a great question. Where the hell is Title? Leaving us dry on Thursday's a JT day. Where's our boy JT? That must be on a secret mission.
Very hurtful, JT.
Oh, I know where JT is. I guarantee he was at that Braves game. Braves played this afternoon. He was at the game, no doubt.
Oliveira's only minus 130.
Is that the main event?
I think so, yeah.
I have to fire that one up.
They're going to roll for it. I like that Oliveira.
I mean, speaking of that, like K Fallick, where that K Fallick's got a thing now to hop on every freaking show.
Yeah, where's K Fallick leaving us hanging?
Yeah, you and I are just by ourselves here, the end of the NBA season. I mean, very difficult conversations. And K Fallick's leaving us out to dry. I mean, he's taking every opportunity to get on these shows. Joey works in there. Joey, why don't you come talk to us about the MMA? We got to spice this up. I mean, this NBA talk, I'm not going to lie, is it's tough. All right, let's keep it moving. Maybe we can get a third wheel on here. We got the 76ers. We got the Heat, 217.5 total. Miami favored by 2.5. Need the news in this game. I mean, Embiid's questionable. Jimmy Butler's questionable. It is very hard to pinpoint what you're going to do in this game without that news. If Embiid is out, which it seems like he most likely will be out, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, I mean, probably fire them right back up. They kind of need to win. I mean, I think the Nets could potentially catch them, so it's a spot they're going to want to win. Both those guys, very nice. I mean, we both hate Ben Simmons as as an actual basketball player, but for fantasy in these spots, he's a good guy to fire up at a cheap price tag. And then the Butler thing, I mean, I assume he plays. They're going to want to win. Like you said, these teams will want to avoid that 6 seed. They really want to be in the 4 or 5. I think Butler plays here. He did leave, though. Oh, yeah, he left at like halftime. Oh, Aaron Holiday out, too. Oh, baby.
I knew that was coming right after.
Yeah. It's going to be fire the cannon spot. Yeah, so fire the cannons type spot there for the Pacers. Talk to me about this game.
Yeah, this Miami Philly game is the games I hate this last week. I mean, you got these Philly guys, Embiid, and there's no way. There's no chance he's playing. I mean, it's going to be Simmons and Harris, and I just can't do it. I don't trust Philly this week. And honestly, Miami, both these teams in theory should want to win. Miami definitely wants to win too, to try to get up to that 4. I don't know. Like, I hate these games. These are the hard reads for me because I don't really want to play Simmons and Tobias, but they should want to win. Tough matchup versus Miami on top of it, though. Everything in me wants to just fade this game and play easier spots. I don't know. Like,
what's up, boys?
Hey, we got a member.
How you guys doing?
What do you got? Like a glowing jumpsuit on or something?
I mean,
that thing's like
a track jacket. Nice track.
Oh, it's like
We just went for a little run. Little while ago. So
You don't look that good without working on that body each day. I mean, look at that mug shining.
I don't
you
know.
Got that nice golden tan going as well. I mean, making me and Big T look like shit.
I'm definitely not in shape as I should be. Been trying to get in shape, do a little running each day, but I don't know. Been drinking too many beers on the weekend.
Yeah, it starts to catch. You're still young though, right? How old are you?
32.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You got a couple years to catch up to me and T. So we're on the closer side of 40. But yeah, thanks for joining in. We'll loop you in here on some of these games. We're gonna keep it moving. It's tough, man. This is the end of the NBA season here. Spurs Knicks 216 total. Knicks favored by 5, and this is a spot where the Knicks will want to win, and their guys are playing a lot of minutes. Julius Randle continues to play into the 40s in these close games. He did that against the Lakers, 26 shots. RJ Barrett will play a lot of minutes, and the production has been kind of all over the map. And then on the Spurs side, I mean, it kind of sound like a broken record, but we haven't really been playing Spurs all season long. It's worked out. The last week of the NBA season, I am not going to reverse course on that. Bobby Gomes, talk to me about this one. What are your thoughts on the Spurs Knicks?
Yeah, it's been pretty tough. Like with the Spurs, obviously pop late end of the season, like not trying to go there. I don't mind Randall, obviously. He's going to play the minutes, like they've been playing minutes all year. Don't mind Barrett either, but we can like trust these minutes for the Knicks. But this isn't like a game like I want to get to too much in the slate. Yeah, that would pretty much. I don't want to play DeJounte Murray. Don't want to play Jacob Poeltl on the Spurs side. That would pretty much be my take. Not really. This game isn't like my favorite. What do you have for a total of 216?
Yeah, a low one. I mean, it's pretty typical with these Knicks games. They're all they all come in pretty low now.
Yeah, so there's not much here for me.
Our boy JSU has joined us. What's going on, brother?
We got another member?
Yeah,
I had to jump in here, and you guys were talking about getting people in here, and I was like, I got to come in here and talk some hoops with my guys. I needed to talk with Big T and Hoop, and then I saw Bobby jump on. And I was like, now I definitely have to get on here. Fucking Bobby Gomes is in the show now. I mean,
is it going to be like a golf show last night where we end up with like 12 people out here talking about it?
I mean, I got my coffee.
It's just a
it's
new
not
thing.
midnight.
I'm still paying the price from the golf show. I'm not a late night trooper. I give you guys a lot of credit for being able to do that and bounce back the next day. I mean, I was up at 6:30 and I didn't get the Big T nap. Like that's where Big T has the advantage on everyone. He's got the afternoon nap schedule.
That's where
I guarantee Bobby Gomes knows about a nap. There's no way he doesn't.
I took a nap around like noon today.
Yeah, that's
like
smart.
Bobby
That's
Gomes
good
took a nap
management.
Looks like Bobby Gomes took a nap in the
me?
tanning bed.
Hoop, you're not a napper, right? No way Hoop's a napper. You're a napper.
I mean, I used to. I can't do it. I don't know. Like I can't fall asleep during the middle of the day for some reason. I try. I just can't do it.
What do you need naps for? At night you go to bed and you wake up when it gets light out and just do it all
Makes
over
you
again.
feel good. It gets the spirits boosted.
No, it just brings you down. You just get sleepy and tired.
I can't bounce back. Like if I
Yeah.
fell asleep for like an hour, I'd be done for the rest of the day. Like I cannot get like back into the flow of things. It'd be over.
I'm with you, Hoop. I couldn't.
Bobby, they don't
There's
know.
no way.
Naps mean winners.
Yeah, naps after a golf.
You're
drive,
sleeping
like,
through
last
winners
night.
when you take naps. What are you talking about? Naps being winners. You can just sleep through the winners.
Yeah, that's your move.
No, never, except for at 4:30 a.m. in the morning when you're on a Zoom call with Mangone and Big T. I mean, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Mangone, he's a talker.
Mangone, did Mangone ever fire up the tea last night? The tea kettle?
I think he might have.
He had the full set, the full China set behind him. There's some weird looking items on that shelf. All right, so some news.
I missed Ben Simmons talk. Did we make fun of Ben Simmons? Did I miss Ben Simmons?
Yeah, I mean, we said he sucks at basketball.
Okay.
Which is like, there's no argument against that. But in terms of
there's arguments against it. Trust me, they're in my DMs. They're all in my DMs.
The word, I mean, he's like a Giannis Jr., where if you're playing against a good defense, like they can just shut him down. And in the playoffs, he's just like the most worthless player there is. But interesting to see. Now Chris Boucher upgraded to questionable.
Oh God.
He was going to sit. Now he's questionable. Which what's the guy's name? Freddie Gillespie was on the radar. Now little downgrade for him potentially. So we'll just see. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern game, so we'll see how that one shakes out.
That's key because we had 8 bodies in that game.
Yes,
and a lot of them were cheap too. Like, and the expensive ones aren't even expensive; they're like $6K. You know what I mean? And that's huge if Boucher is in because he played big minutes last time, which I did not see.
And he had like the highest usage rate on the team too, or the second highest. So like he wasn't just out there; like he was out there dominating the ball as well. Which, if he plays, is definitely going to be a downgrade to a lot of these guys.
Yeah, Izzy's with me and who never napped in the life. Like that's how you do it. Like
you guys got to live better. You're not living right if you don't have to take any naps.
No,
you don't need to take a damn nap when you drink freaking water every night. Where are you going to nap from when you get after it?
Water and coffee, baby, all day. This is my 3rd cup. That's it. Winners right here. This is how it's done. Brewed winners, all right? Coffee. You brew coffee, you pick winners, go to sleep late at night, and you wake up in the morning and do it again. 5 a.m.
All about.
That's it.
Let's see. Let's just Serge Ibaka ruled out. I mean, did anyone think he was going to play? All right, let's keep moving. We got the Kings, we got the Grizzlies. Big total 229. Memphis favored by 8 in this game, and obviously we have a lot of injury news here. The Kings are going to continue to be without Fox, Harrison Barnes, Bagley. So the guy obviously that's going to be very popular tonight, Metu, is that how you pronounce it? Metu. He's 4.1K on DK, power forward, center eligible. He'll be one of the more popular guys on the slate. Rashawn Holmes, much better price tag on FanDuel, but still in the conversation, 6'9". Harkless at 4.6 on DK. been putting together some solid games here, fantasy-wise, 29, 32, 32. DeLon Wright, big boy price tag now, 8.1K, but paid it off last time against the Thunder, 47 fantasy points. Buddy Hield, I think you can kind of look at here as well. On the Memphis side, kind of need some news here because Valanciunas is officially listed as questionable. Jaren Jackson is going to play. He has a pretty good price tag, 5.9K. I think he's definitely in the conversation, would obviously get that additional boost as well if Valanciunas were to be ruled out. JSU, let's go to you first. What are your thoughts here? Kings, Grizzlies.
Yeah, I mean, this game, to me, I think some of these Kings are in play. My issue with the Kings is this Metu, who is going to be super popular tonight. And I get it, Bagley's doubtful, so he's going to start. But, I mean, if I'm just looking at it from a tournament perspective, if I was playing these Kings, I'm looking at Mo Harkless, who got more minutes than him last game and has outscored him fantasy-wise the last 2 games. And he's going to be lower owned. Like, if I'm just looking at it, I'm not saying Mo Harkless is like a core play or Metu is. I'm just saying, like, I think he would be a pivot on the same team in the same game for lower ownership. So, like, that's something I would look at if I was thinking about playing Metu or going overweight, like maybe getting some Harkless as a pivot and hoping he just outscores Metu right around the same price tag. There's only a $500 difference. And on this slate, I think we're going to have enough value with news that's popping up, and it's going to continue to pop up all throughout we know this, all the way through lock. So, we're going to have the value. So it's not like you can't get $500 to pay up. And I don't see a big difference in those plays. I think DeLon Wright is someone who's going to be under-owned, and I think he's really sneaky. The price tag has gone up, but he has been smashing in this role, and he is just one of those guys that he can do a little of everything. And those guys are so valuable when because they can get those bonus numbers. They have that shot every game. Not that they're going to get 10 rebounds or 10 assists every game, but he's right there, like 9 assists, 8 assists, 8 assists. 3 of his last 5 games, he's had 8 or 9 assists. Like, that's what you want. And then he gets rebounds, he can get steals. I love him. He's going to be under-owned, but it's just because of the price tag. He honestly, to me, is worth the price tag if the game stays close, because I think if it stays close, it's because of him. He's one of the main reasons. So I like the Sacramento side a little more than the Memphis side, unless Joe Val is out. Because if Joe Val is out, then there are clear, bumps to some of these guys.
Yep. Bobby, anything to add there?
I think Metu's like a must play, even at 4-1. I know everyone's going to have him. I still think that, like, if he's going to be highly owned, you just kind of play him. DeLon Wright would probably be the next guy, but I don't think like I'd prioritize DeLon Wright at 8-1. For me, like, feel like we can find better plays at the guard position, but I think that he would be my second favorite King. And then I don't know, that's pretty much it. Like, from the King side, I'm outside of that. Like, that's pretty much all the interest I have.
Yeah, and the Jovel news is pretty big. I mean, the Memphis side would definitely become more into play if he does sit. This is an 8 p.m. Eastern game. Outside chance we get it before lock, but like we said, we have the Up to Lock show with JSU and Holden. They break down all the news and notes on the slate. Part of the premium product over here at Rum Pure Sports. We have a promo going. RPS Heater 25 gets you 25% off your first payment on a monthly package. That promo code RPS Heater 25. Big T, your thoughts here on the Kings Grizzlies game?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the standings, it feels like this game should mean something, but I don't know. I know Memphis wants to win. I think Memphis will win. Sacramento is somehow still not eliminated from the playoffs. Like, if they were to somehow, like the Spurs, we still don't really know what we'll get from them. They're only 2 behind the Spurs. It's just a weird
Feels like
game.
the Spurs don't want in. Like, yeah, there's no way the Spurs
sit there in
want
that 10 spot too. I mean, I don't know. I don't like this game. I kind of agree with JSU about Metu. I mean, he's fine. So he had back-to-back games where he was cheap, 29 and 26 minutes. He played good both games. Both were versus OKC, though, who is the worst team in basketball right now, just horrendous. And now he steps up. He's going to be one of the highest owned guys. And we always talk about it, but the difference between being 3K and 4K is a big difference for me. Even though it's only 1,000 in salary, I want 30 from Medu tonight. I don't know if I can get it. If he was 3K, I don't need 30 at 3K. Maybe it's just psychological with me, but that 1,100 means a lot, and I can't see myself playing Chalk Medu. And I'm just going to fade this game, though. I don't see myself playing much from here.
Just another thing, too, on Meadow, real quick. Like, if you're looking at this slate, if this was a different slate where we didn't have value, I could understand it more. We have more there's going to be more value than just Meadow. And if everyone's just jamming in Meadow, I think it's a terrible play. Like, I literally think it's a terrible play to jam him in there if he's going to be 40% owned. Like, I think it's horrible on this slate. Again, if this slate was different and we didn't have value, that's another story. That's not the story. We already got Indiana news. These Indiana guys are already better plays. Even the cheaper guys. Like,
that's what I was going to say. I think the Pacers. Yeah, I think the Pacers stuff will bring down his ownership a little bit because there's going to be 3 or 4 viable cheap guys, but still. Metu is going to be, he's still going to be very popular, but it should come down a little bit, right? With the Pacer stuff.
You would think so. You would think.
Yeah, but there's a lot of different ways to go in terms of the value. And I think the best point here is that the matchups where Metu did good. I mean, the Thunder, I feel like, we saw what Title did to Big T. I feel like Big T could go out there and round up some fantasy points against the Thunder. So
they are one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
It's bad. Yeah, it's bad.
Charlie Brown, anyone?
Ever since
Charlie
Brown started, I just can't look at them the same.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, next game to me, I think is the most important one to figure out on the slate, specifically the Denver Nuggets. We have the Nuggets, we have the Timberwolves, 230.5 total. Denver's favored by 2.5. This afternoon, Denver ruled out Porter Jr. and Monte Morris for rest purposes. And then there was a quote from Malone basically saying he was going to experiment with some lineups today. What that means, I don't know. Does that mean that, Jokic might not get his full amount of run here? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I do think they really want him to win this MVP, which at this point it's a lock. Like, there's no way he doesn't win the MVP award. So really, what do they have to play for? I don't think there's much incentive in the playoff race. They're sitting, where are they? They're sitting in the 4 seed. Yeah, like Tony said, there's incentive actually maybe for them to lose. Big T, I mean, you're in tune with this Nuggets team. This is your squad. What's your take on this situation? Because like I said, I think this is the most important spot to figure out on the slate.
Yeah, so early in the week, I think Monday, I came on the Up to Lock show and we talked about the Denver situation. I just don't think you can trust them all week. I said that early in the week. They're going to sit guys. They have motivation to lose, if anything. I was surprised they played good and won the other night, but after they already rule out MPJ, there's no way you can play Jokic now and not in this spot. I mean, unless you want to literally project him in like the 40s and still play him at 11K. I think he's the worst play on the slate to me.
I think he's going to have a lot of ownership, though. I really do.
So.
I think he's the stud. I think he's the stud that people play just because it's built in their head. Okay, if the second best guy on a team gets ruled out, you plug in the best guy. And Porter Jr. is the second best guy right now, leaving Jokic. I think Jokic has a lot of ownership. So like I said, figuring out this situation is very important.
This is always why I do better at the end of seasons, because the projection slappies.
That's why I always do better. Coming from the guy that just has made like $3 million in the first 3 months.
Don't be talking.
That's why I always do better at the end of the season.
Don't start choking like JSU always chokes.
2.84 hoop. All right, get it right.
Yeah. Let's get it right.
$800,000, $40 and what? 20 cents, something like that.
Yeah, he says don't start stroking. Listen, dude, you're the last guy. Like, we've had enough of stroking Big T. Don't get me wrong. That's the last thing I want to say, but it's just a comical statement you made.
I need to ask Big T a question though, because this doesn't make sense to me. So First of all, Jokic just randomly jumped on the injury report as probable with a toe issue, which is interesting. That's
like, I don't even think you can even consider Jokic. That's how bad of a play I think he is.
Here's my question. With all of the guys that they are missing, if you're Malone and you're resting MPJ today and Monte Morris, why wouldn't you be trying to get some of these other bench guys to play more with Jokic out there and get him more comfortable with them? Because
have you seen Jokic play basketball? The dude is a wizard. He doesn't need time with anybody.
Have you seen the other guys outside MPJ's been scoring 30 like consistently, by the way. It's just like, I think it's gone under the radar how good he's actually been scoring for this team. That's a lot of points that they're just taking off the court right now. Who's soaking that up?
All of them. They got 17 dudes. They're going to play a bunch of dudes. They're going to play weird rotations. They're probably going to lose the game. Are they favored? What's the friggin' spread? They're not winning this game.
2.5.
Yeah, Minnesota
wins.
I've hit a lot of winners on this show. No way Minnesota's not winning outright tonight. Take the freaking money line. I'll be stunned if Denver's not winning this game. We've picked a lot of winners on this show. Bet Minnesota. Go collect your money.
I will say too, the Timberwolves have been playing good, down the
stretch.
It's
just a free.
Well, I mean, I talked about the other day. They're actually playing their guys. Like a lot of these teams that are out of contention, they're dicking around and playing random guys, random rotations. Like they're playing their best players, which is very rare. I agree. I think the Timber. I'm going to put that in right now.
How in the world are they an underdog? Like I don't think people understand what I'm saying, and maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times. I feel very, very confident that Jokic is the worst play on the slate, and the Nuggets are going to play 12 dudes. Why in the world, outside of the projections, which I get, everyone's attached to these projections, why would anyone project Jokic in the 60s? I can't comprehend it. There's
because they're going to project him for the 35 minutes, and higher usage without Porter Jr. I mean, that's how they do them.
So it's a glitch, right? Like that's how we can have an edge at the end of seasons in my mind.
Correct. Yeah, and that's why I'm saying that's why I think he comes in with pretty decent ownership on the slate for that reason, because people have become so dependent on projections that they can't think outside of the projections. And a lot of the guys that look at these projections every day don't watch the game. So they don't even understand how it works. And they've never played sports. And that's why the term, the nerds or the dorks or whatever we say, that's where you get the edge against these people on slates like this. And that's why we always talk about our product at Run Pure Sports. We take it a step further. Yeah, we have the projections. We have all that crap. We look at all the numbers. You can find it all on our site. We go the step further and analyze the situations. And that's where the other sites, like, they can't do it. They don't have the staff to go the step further. We go the step further. That's why our product's great, I feel. So
taking a step further, now on the slate, like Sabonis is a way better play up top than Jokic. I think Jokic might be higher owned than Sabonis. As crazy as that sounds, they both will probably be high owned. But I still think
Jokic. I mean, unless there's some crazy news, and the one thing, the Malone quote was kind of, it's not out there. Like, not a lot of people are talking about it. So like I said, I think Jokic gets higher ownership. I think Sabonis just such a better play. Anything else here before we head into these last two games?
I mean, you can definitely look at the Minnesota side too, because Denver, if you assume they're going to play a bunch of rotation and a bunch of guys, I mean, you got some high upside guys in it, like Anthony Edwards at times. I mean, Anthony Edwards has everything that could totally smash this spot. Denver doesn't really have anyone outside of Gordon that can guard someone like him. And Gordon's not going to play big minutes either. They just don't. I don't know. I think you can definitely play one of these Minnesota stud guys.
Gomes, anything to add?
I think fading, like JSU said, if Jokic is going to be the top spend and LeVert being ruled out, Sabonis becomes a really good play. If he's going to be lesser owned, you definitely I would prioritize getting to Sabonis rather than Jokic. And then on the Denver side, Campazzo, JaMychal Green, these guys are going to be guys that I think with a 2-point spread, it gives credence to them, especially taking out a guy like MPJ, who's obviously seeing a huge usage increase. These guys are all going to get bumped up. I think they're the guys that I would prioritize more than Jokic in the situation, as crazy as that sounds, just in like my construction.
JSU, wrap this up for us before we hop into the last two games.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with what Bobby said there, where it's like the secondary pieces of Denver, I guess you could look at more. My worry is, though, is they actually do play every single body on this team. And if they play, all these guys, and I'm just trying to get a head count on
Like, it's
them,
not even a question. I am like so confident they're playing 12 dudes. Like, so confident.
Yeah, if they're playing all 12 dudes, then I don't really love this team. Like,
Campazzo is a key part of if Campazzo gets hurt, they have no guards. They're not running him out big minutes. They're just not.
And it looks like Monte, even though he's technically back, I mean, he's getting these injury management now. Like, he's definitely not like fully ready to go and play big minutes in the playoffs. So they really need Campazzo. Like, it's not like they have Monte too. They really need him. They're screwed without him. But yeah, I mean, Tony might be talking me into just staying away from Denver, honestly.
These are the spots you're going to win money. People are going to love this spot because, 2 months ago when Porter's out in this spot, you're going to love all these Denver guys. They're going to smash in the norm. But, man,
two weeks, last week.
Exactly. Last week, 2 weeks ago.
Legitimately last week.
Yeah, I mean, this is a spot you'd be loading up, but I mean, there's four days left in the NBA regular season.
Hoop said it too. Like, anyone can come on here and tell you to play the obvious plays. We're going out on a limb saying stuff like this. If it's wrong and these guys play 40 minutes, like, they'll come and they'll kill us for takes like this. But we're not scared to do it. We're going to give what we think. If it's wrong, it's wrong. You got to win tournaments, you can't just go in and click the project. You got to make some manual guesses and changes. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, and even in cash games, I'm skeptical of this situation too. And you guys know me, like I usually am not capable of thinking outside of the box with this stuff. But I can even see this one a little bit. So definitely be cautious with this Nuggets situation. Not going to get any more news either. It's not like there's going to be like some big quotes from Malone going around that, oh no, Jokic is going to play his normal minutes, blah, blah. That's not going to happen. So you really have to, take what we have now and run with it. But I think caution is the best way to operate. Raptors, Bulls, 217 total. Bulls favored by 10.5 in this game. And this game got a little more complicated as well with the upgrade of Chris Boucher. And, anytime a guy's upgraded, typically he does play. And, we always talk about it. If a guy gets a downgrade, if he's probable and then they go to questionable, a lot of times that guy sits. But the fact that he got upgraded, kind of have to assume he plays. It's an 8 p.m. Eastern game. Maybe we get the news before lock, but him in, like JSU said, like we're going from 8 bodies and now 9, and a lot of times 8 to 9. Oh, that's not that big of a deal. This is a big deal because the last game Boucher played with all these scrubs, he had the highest usage, I believe, on the team, or the second highest usage. So it's just going to take away a lot. This Wantabi guy was kind of in play. Bembry, Gillespie was popping in a good play at 3.6K. All these guys, including Gary Trent, they're going to get a downgrade here, assuming Boucher does play. Like I said, hopefully we get the news here. JSU, give me your thoughts here on this Raptors situation.
Yeah, this is one of the situations and reason why you want to hang out with us up to lock because you're going to want to get this news. Right now, obviously, Boucher being upgraded helps him, like Hoop said. One of the reasons, too, like talking about the Chicago side with Boucher, I kind of like the Chicago side. And, man, I got suckered into them last time. They didn't come through for me. But they would have had no rim protection if Boucher was out. And the guy like Zach LaVine would have destroyed them going to the hole. He would have been able to get to the hole whenever he wanted to, too. So this is big news, not just from a usage standpoint, from that, too, where now if Boucher plays, they'll have a little more rim protection, which may hurt a guy like Zach LaVine, who is not just a shooter. He wants to get to the hole, too. But I do think still you're going to want Raptors. Like, the question is, and it's the question we always get, up to lock, how many Raptors or too many Raptors? I mean, I need this Boucher news to really know which ones I want to key on. This Jalen Harris is a guy who I think is pretty talented. I played 25 minutes last game against the Clippers. I think he could see similar minutes again today. If Boucher is out, I would bump those minutes. Like, I think he could see 30, maybe a little bit more. But I think these Raptors are going to be good plays. The question is, who is it exactly? Right now, Jalen Harris is one of them. Gillespie was someone I was looking at too. If Boucher is in, it's going to hurt him a little bit, but he's still 3-6 and he played 25 minutes. So I could still be talked into him whether Boucher plays or doesn't, because how they used Boucher was they kind of moved him around so they could play him with a guy like Gillespie, who they clearly want to see. They want to see these young guys. So I'm attacking the young guys first in my lineup builds, because I know for a fact those are the guys they really want to see out there. They want to see them play with some of their better players like Trent and Boucher. So like Stanley Johnson for me is out. Like that's just one guy. They know who he is. DeAndre Bembry, if Boucher is in, he'll probably be out of consideration too, because they know the type of player he is. They want to see guys like Harris, Flynn, Watu, this guy Gillespie. Those are the guys. Ken Burch, they know. So like that's how I'm targeting Toronto. And then for me, I could pick one of those Chicago studs. I'm not afraid to go right back to them.
Yeah, I like that breakdown for sure. And I agree. It's like those forward/power forward guys. Stanley Johnson, I think, would obviously get a huge downgrade if Boucher is in. They started the two big. I mean, they're started Boucher and Birch. It's not a lot to go around for those, bigger type wing players. Bobby, anything to add here?
Yeah, so with Boucher being upgraded, I'm going under the assumption that he's playing, and then I feel like the Indy value is just going to be more of a priority for me. So then, if he is playing, the only guys like JSU said would be Jalen Harris, Malachi Flynn, guys like that. That would really be guys that I would consider, because I think Nick Nurse wants to see Jalen Harris play, and Malachi, these younger guys. So that would be where I'd be going. I'd prioritize the Indy value ahead of the Raptors.
Big T, thoughts here?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like the cheap Toronto guys. I love Jalen Harris, one of the best plays on the slate. They want to see what he's got. Gillespie too. I played Gillespie on FanDuel the other day. No one had him. Same thing. I don't really care that Boucher's back, because I don't think he's going to get – if he plays, I don't think he's going to get crazy minutes. They want to see Gillespie. Super cheap. The only annoying part is he's center on DK. I wish he was just like power forward. Or I don't understand how everyone's eligible at like two positions, and then guys like this, they only give them a center spot. Which
The
is
obvious ones, they don't give the multiple position eligibility to them, right?
No, it doesn't like that. That's one of the reasons I like how
where the Reds are all multi-eligibility somehow. The Reds guys are all eligible at multiple positions in baseball. Like, I don't get it. I don't get how they figure that out.
And one more thing too, the dude in the chat. I mean, the dude keeps saying, "Big T, how do you explain why the Nuggets don't want to win?" I mean, this is where gambling and stuff comes into play. I feel confident that they don't want to win. Why would they want to win? If they freaking finish fourth, the Clippers are guaranteed to be on the other side of the bracket, and the Lakers are guaranteed to be on the other side of the bracket. Why the hell would they not want to lose? That's common sense. They don't want to pass the Clippers. So if they pass the Clippers, all of a sudden the Lakers are on the same side as them. Everything becomes harder. In the four, they get to play Portland or Dallas. They want to play Portland or Dallas. I promise.
And I don't think. I mean, I'm personally not respecting the Jazz and the Suns at the top. Yeah. I don't think they're a top 4 team in the West. I guarantee the Nuggets are thinking like that too. So then they get a second round matchup with most likely the Utah Jazz, who I think they'd be pretty comfortable with that matchup, They
want that matchup because they got the perfect Jokic spot, and they love that matchup.
Either way, if you follow the standings of the regular season and you think that's what teams, they don't want to play the number 1 seed because they're the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed, that's not right. They're looking at the Lakers and the Clippers as clearly the two best teams, regardless of what's happened in the regular season. Throw the regular season out. It's different. I've been saying this for like a couple weeks now. It is going to be so different when the playoffs start. These teams don't care. They're not afraid of the Suns and the Jazz. Those are teams that they are not afraid to play. I guarantee you the back half of all those teams in the West are saying, okay, give me them over the Lakers and the Clippers. Guaranteed. They don't want to see those two teams.
100%. It's not even close. And it's like this year more so than ever. I mean, just with all the, hangovers from the COVID stuff and whatnot, like it's a mixed standings right now, especially in the West. And there's no team, I guarantee you, in the playoffs that says, oh, you know what? I'll take the Lakers or the Clippers over Utah or Phoenix. It's just, there's no team thinking like that. There's no damn team. If the Nuggets get that matchup with Portland, Dallas in the first round, and then they get Utah or Phoenix in the second round, they're going to be pretty damn thrilled with that. I can guarantee you that much. So it's a good point, and that's why we're kind of, and like I said when we talked about that game, it's the most important situation to analyze on the slate. And it's more so analyzing these situations than actually breaking down the games and talking about the stats and the projection. The situations these teams are in are way more important than all that other stuff. The last game on the slate is one of these situations I think that's very important to think about. Portland, Phoenix, 235 total. Phoenix favored by 3.5, but Portland is a team that has a lot to play for here tonight. They're currently in the 5 seed. They're only a game ahead of the Lakers in the 7 seed, so they could potentially drop all the way down to that 7 seed, which no team wants to be in because you're in the play-in situation. So they're going to play their guys. The matchup isn't great, but the total's big here. Dame Lillard isn't a guy that, I've personally been playing a lot, but he's going to play a ton tonight. McCollum's going to play a ton. Powell, I think all interesting plays tonight just because of the situation that Portland's in. Then on the Phoenix side, they have Ayton listed as they added him to the injury report. He is questionable. So that could kind of shuffle things up a little bit if he were to sit. Let's Bobby, talk to me about this one. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, we haven't said this a lot all year, but I feel like Dame's my second favorite spend on the slate. I know a lot of people, we think we're going to be going to Jokic. But I think it's going to be Dame and Sabonis for me. McCollum's been crushing. I like the price tag on DK, 7,900. Also like Powell. But Dame would be like the priority. And I think on the other side of that, like you can make a case for Chris Paul. You can make a case for I don't like, it'd probably just be Chris Paul for me and maybe Jay Crowder, I would say. Those would be my two guys from the Suns. But I think Lillard's a spend. McCollum's definitely in play. And yeah, those two. That would be where I'd kind of go in this game.
Big T, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, with this being the only late game, I've struggled all year with saving spots for this late game, especially at this point of the year. I know both teams theoretically want to win. I agree with that point. But you just don't know what these teams are going to do when there's only one late game. And I don't love the plays on top of it. Each team is somewhat deep. It's just easier to fade it. I can see the reward of waiting and playing at least one or two of these pieces because both teams need to want to win. But I don't think I'll be playing any late guys. There's just too much risk, and I don't love the teams to begin with.
All right. Before we go to JSU, we have that free monthly membership to give away. Our boy Will D, he had a nice hit. He decided that he wants to give it back and offer a free monthly subscription to one of the people in the chat. What do we get? Oh, Embiid still questionable. Okay. He wants to give it away to somebody here in the YouTube chat. So what you need to do is post a comment in the chat if you're not already a member, obviously. And you need to do something or say something that is going to appeal to Bobby Gomes. Bobby is the man that's going to pick it. So you have to say something that he likes or something that would be appealing to him. So basically he gets to pick. So impress Bobby Gomes. We're going to pick this probably about 4 or 5 minutes. So get those comments in there. JSU, your thoughts here on this Portland Phoenix game?
Yeah, it's an important game for Portland. Obviously, they want to win. Phoenix, they're still, I guess, technically playing for seeding. Nothing's locked in, but I don't know at this point if they really care that much about 1 or 2 seed. Maybe they do. I don't know. But either way, I just don't like attacking Phoenix. And, when you're looking at Portland, the guys you're going to want to play are these guards, Dame and CJ. And Dame at 9,500, I just can't pull the trigger on it. I haven't been able to pull the trigger on him. Again, when you pay 9,500, you want that 60-point plus upside. Like I know he can do it, but he hasn't really done it in the last 10 games. And when I'm paying 9.5K or higher for a guy, I want at least the shot at it. And this is a slower matchup. Phoenix, it's not a matchup I like to attack. The only good thing is that I know he's going to play 35 to 40 minutes. They just are going to roll him out there that much. That's the only good thing. But I don't know. I think I would need to be MMEing or something like that to get to Dame Lillard on the slate.
Man, I can't wait for the playoffs to start. Here's a quote from Doc Rivers on Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is probably, maybe playing tonight from Doc. So he's probably, maybe playing. So take that for what it's worth. Just imagine 5-6 more days and we don't have to deal with this shit anymore. I can't wait for the playoffs to start. All right, let's before we get into the plays. Oh, there's something else. He worked out yesterday and didn't look great, but he got up and down the floor a little bit. Who the hell knows? I mean, that's very important news on the slate. Before we get into the plays, we just want to remind you guys we have that partnership going with SuperDraft. If you head on over to SuperDraft and use the promo code RUNPURE, you get a deposit match up to $100 on your first deposit. So go to SuperDraft, use the promo code RUNPURE for a deposit match up to $100. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into our plays of the day. JSU, I'm going to go to you first. I mean, are we still using the super cuts play of the day, or have we moved on?
I don't know. That kind of got squashed, so I don't know if we're using it.
Well, we're sticking with it for now.
Whatever you want, Hoop. You have the lead, so you call it what you want.
I kind of want to stick with it, but I mean, I'm open to changing it at some point. So for now, we're going to go with we'll stick with the super cuts play of the day. Who do you got for us?
God, I'm so mad I missed my appointment with my
so it's fitting. It's a fitting name then. It's perfect.
God, now I got to wait another week and a half. No worries.
That's how it all started. So it's perfect.
Yeah. Well, it started when I was literally waiting 4 months to get a haircut. That's how it started.
Oh, and Simon still has the graphic for it too. So
that's ready. Look at it.
Oh, look at that. Look at that beard too. Woo. Those days. All right. Play of the day. I'm going to try. I don't want to give just like Big T. I'm trying not to give an obvious play here, or someone that's going to be somewhat lower owned on this slate. I think my play of the day is going to be DeLon Wright. I think he comes in under 10%. It might even be lower than it might be 5 or under 5. I don't know, but I like him on this slate because he's also shooting guard eligible. And with a lot of point guards that are only point guard eligible on the slate, he kind of fits that where if I need a shooting guard and to spend in that mid-tier range, again, I think we'll have a lot of stars be chalky on this slate where that mid-tier range might go lower owned. I think he's a really sneaky play tonight. So DeLon Wright is going to be the super cuts play of the day.
Very good. All right. I'll go next with the 4X play of the day. And I'm sticking in that same game, same team. You kind of talked about it. I really like Mo Harkless tonight. 4.6K. Everyone's going to go to Medu at 4.1K. It's going to be super popular. Mo Harkless has been contributing, really. I mean, 29, 32 fantasy points. He's going to play a lot of minutes. He's finally starting to shoot a little bit more with these guys out. So give me Mo Harkless as the 4X play of the day. Bobby, we're going to head on over to you. So we need, do you have a name for your play of the day or no?
I don't have a name yet. No, I don't have a name.
Maybe the jumpsuit or the track.
Someone hit the track jacket play of the day.
Yeah, something like that. And we need the winner of the monthly subscription as well. So give us both.
So the winner of the monthly subscription is Antfer. He was basically saying, I lost his comment in here, but he was basically saying he's in the YouTube chat every day and he wants a sub and trying to spread that good mojo. who won last night that's giving out this? We have another guy giving out this.
Will D. I believe it was 2 days ago that he won.
Cool. Yeah, so Antford was in YouTube chat. We're going to get him a sub.
Yeah. So just answers, just send an email to info@RunPureSports and we'll get you all set up.
Yeah, if he's still in here, he was one of the first ones that posted. And my play of the day, I'm gonna go Dame Lillard. I don't know. The Trailblazers just need to win, right? So I don't know if people don't want to spend up for him. He's one of the. I just feel like if people are gonna go to Jokic, I don't know. He's the guy that kind of stuck out. If I was going Sabonis, Dame as my 2 spends.
Very good. Big T, workbench play of the day. Who do you got for us?
I saved a good one, and I didn't talk about this when we were at the game. I like doing this, and I'm not giving easy plays. I mean, I played a dude that got 0 last week in freaking cash, this week, whenever it was. Dude didn't even play a second in his cash. I'm not scared to roll the dice a little bit, and I'm so confident in my Denver take that I'm going to the workbench for a unowned leverage city play. Mr. JaVale McGee at 3K, baby. Leverage all those Jokic people. Leverage all those Campazzo people. I'm not scared of no 0, chat. I'm not scared of it. Give me JaVale McGee.
Did you still cash? You still cash with the
Yeah,
too, right?
I'm gonna cash with JaVale tonight too.
That's the best way to take the 0. Still cash, and you can just jam it right in their face. So, JaVale McGee, workbench play. What is he? Min priced?
Yeah, he's good price.
Yep.
He's ready to go to battle.
Yeah. He's an active workbench member, so
no question about that.
All right, JSU and Holden will be coming on next. They'll be going. I mean, today is more important than ever to tune into that. We got a ton of news that we're waiting. The news keeps going back and forth. Guys are going from probable to questionable to maybe playing to probably playing to didn't look good in practice. So tons of stuff for them to break down all the way up to lock. Like I said, part of the premium product. You can use that promo code RPS Heater 25 to get access. That has to be on a monthly package to get you 25% off your first payment. So we had the boys hop on and help us out here. Bobby Gomes, thank you. JSU, thank you. We appreciate it. Me and Big T we're on the struggle bus a little bit today, and you guys helped us out. So thanks for jumping in and chatting this 9-game NBA slate with us. But we are going to get on out of here. For Bobby, for JSU, for Big T, I'm Hoop. Good luck tonight in your contest.